Chapter 25. 5 years after my family moved to America, we had a major milestone. We were allowed to apply for United States citizenship. We had never been considered citizens of any country. We had always been stateless, not citizens of Congo, not citizens of Rwanda. To get citizenship, my parents and siblings had to study a list of facts about American history, presidents, and politics, and then take a test. I was 17 years old at the time, which meant I didn't have to take the test because I was under the age of 18. I would become a citizen when my parents did. I watched everyone do their homework for the test, using the materials provided by officials. Every day, my parents listened to audio recordings of questions and answers. How many senators are in Congress? What are the 3 branches of government? They would play the questions over and over at home, in the car, everywhere. It was kind of amusing and also heartening, hearing my parents recite the branches of government in their broken English. They studied so hard. Everyone passed the test. And for the first time in my life, I became a citizen of a country. I got a New York State ID. It was the first thing I owned that proved I exist. It also meant that my family could vote for the first time ever, anywhere. The concept of voting was foreign to us. Since we were not considered citizens in Congo, we could not vote. And even if we could, the system was so corrupt, it would have been futile. I couldn't believe that I would actually have a say in who makes the laws in America. My political views were beginning to take shape, and the more I learned about America, the more liberal I became. Sometimes I talk to my parents about my views and theirs. Back home in Africa, my parents would have considered themselves conservative. I talk to them about the difference between liberals and conservatives in America, especially when it comes to issues of immigration, women, and human rights. They listened and learned with me. I became interested in laws that help immigrants in this country. This country was built on immigrants, after all. I also became interested in laws that protect human rights. My senior year of high school, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was shot dead in Florida. I watched the news unfold on TV with my mom. Trayvon, a black high school student, was walking home from a convenience store when a man named George Zimmerman began following him, deeming him suspicious. A scuffle ensued, and Zimmerman shot and killed him, claiming self-defense. Trayvon was unarmed. Mom and I both cried as we heard the story. The coverage immediately turned political, but at the heart of the story was this boy's grief-stricken parents. I kept thinking about his mom and dad, and how their lives would never be the same after losing their young son in such a violent way. At school, the black girls were on top of the news, and we discussed it every day at lunch in the cafeteria. They followed every detail of the trial. Zimmerman was found not guilty. It was another lesson on what it meant to be black in America. It's a harsh lesson to learn as a teen. At the same time, it reminded me that there had never been any trial on behalf of my sister Deborah, or on behalf of any of my people who were killed. Our families had no chance to even try to get justice. When I turned 18, I voted for Barack Obama. I was excited to be a part of politics in America, to have a voice. That year, I also won a Princeton Prize in Race Relations due to my photo exhibit and leadership at school. One of my teachers at Mercy, Miss Clasquin, had recommended me. She was a strong, fiery woman, and she always pushed me hard. I went to the awards conference at Princeton University and met kids from all over the country. American Muslims, Native Americans, African Americans. They shared their experiences, and I learned that there was so much discrimination toward all kinds of minorities in America. I hadn't realized how deeply rooted and wide-ranging it was. One black girl a high school cheerleader, told me that the white captain of the squad was always talking down to her as if she was a homeless person, when her parents were both doctors. Another black woman said she went to pick up a prescription at the pharmacy one day, and the clerk asked if she was on food stamps. I could see that I was just beginning to scratch the surface of understanding race in America. I could also see that American kids had a hard time understanding that I was American. Kids at school would ask, "What are you?" "What am I?" "I'm an American," I would say. They would look at me skeptically. "Come on, what are you?" When you hear questions like that, it makes you feel like you don't belong, like you have no right to claim American citizenship. I think it's why refugee kids often develop low expectations for their lives. Even as citizens, they feel like outsiders. "Are you asking where I was born?" I would say. If so, I was born in the Democratic Republic of the Congo. But now I am an American. What I often wanted to say was, "I'm a human being. What are you?"